Hi guys, I'm Maroon and you are watching Twinkle Paws, and this is the PDF that has been shared in my WhatsApp group Veterinary, and it's about the hostel rules and regulations for only boys, so it is not for girls. So I need to mention that. So now we are going to see about what are the hostel rules and regulations for us. For the boys, so the first rule, the dean of the college is the overall in charge, and the warden will be assisting the dean. They said the warden is assistant for dean, and you need to do the student welfare activities such as boarding, lodging and other extracurricular activities that has been take place in the hostel. So this is the first point, and the second point is about every student should apply in a prescribed application form. So they provide you an specific application form to enter the hostel, so it will provide by the warden itself, and in that time you need to pay a caution deposit, so it's worth 5,000, and other charges which has been prescribed from time to time, depends from time to time, and the caution deposit will be refunded. So you need to take that point. The money that you pay, which is 5,000 rupees, which will refunded only when the inmate finally or permanently leaves the hostel, which means if you wish to leave the hostel, then this 5,000 rupees, which is considered for per year caution deposit, so it will refunded to you. If you draw back from the hostel 2 years, after 2 years, then 10,000 rupees will be refunded for you. So like that, this procedure have been take place. And the third point, the rules prescribed by the universities, so they need to mention this. We should strictly follow the rules for to ensure the smooth functioning of the hostel, and every students need to behave in good conduct well in the hostel. They said if anyone fail, a disciplinary action will be take place against the student who found the guilty of misconduct, and any students who misbehave the hostel. So if a student misbehaves in hostel, so he will immediately expelled from the hostel by a warden itself. And come to the fourth point, all the hostel inmates should dine in the hostel mess. So every hostel student should be dine in the same hostel mess, and the inmates are prohibited from taking food. So you no need to take your food to your room to eat it. You should eat your food only in the mess itself. And the hostel is meant for both boarding and lodging, so no students can stay in hostel without dining. So every hostelers should take the dine only in the hostel mess. If he or she didn't take the dine for more than a month, then he or she isn't eligible to stay in the hostel. So this is what this point meant to. And the come to the fifth point, the room will be allotted according to the alphabetical order. So I gave you an example, like my name is Arun, so I am in the first letter of the alphabet, so I got the first room. So this way, according to your first letter of your name, the rooms are allotted for you, and the students are advised to stay in the allotted rooms only. So you don't go to others room, like exchange your rooms, interchange, so it should not be made. And the inmate should handle the furniture and other items, so he or she should maintain the furnitures and other items provided in the hostel room carefully. If any damage happens to the things, then the replacement or damage cost must be collected from the culprit individual. And the sixth point, the inmates should have their own locks, so he or she must have their own locks to lock their room, as well as their other essential items like their luggage and their precious things, and and must lock their room whenever they go out. He or she must lock their room whenever they go out. And deviation, if any deviation is made, then it will attract to the punishment, they said. And the inmates are allowed to go on are not allowed, so the inmates are not allowed to go on a picnic or a tour other than the educational tour. So only you are eligible to go for the educational tour not going for picnic or any other personal tours. Okay, and the seventh point, electrical fittings provided in the room, bathroom and mess should not be mended by the inmates on any account. So the electrical fittings shouldn't be damaged by the inmates. If anything happens, then bring that notice to the warden immediately. And you are not allowed to take along with you radio, record players and private fan, AC, heater and other electrical appliances. So these are the things didn't allowed in hostel. And if any student is found guilty on using this, he or she must expel from the hostel itself. And the eighth point, you should keep your room clean and tidy. You should keep your room very clean and neat. So they are further advised against keeping jewels. So they advised you not to keep your jewels along with you if it's stolen or theft. The management didn't take any responsibility. So you is the one responsible for your own valuable items. So they need to mention this thing in this point. And the ninth rule they need to mention is the, the inmates are advised not to entertain guests in their room. So the inmates or hostelers are not allowed to entertain their guests on their personal rooms, and inmates are strictly prohibited from indulging in any kind of political or communal activities. So the inmates didn't involve in political or community activities. If anything happens, the disciplinary actions will be taken liable against the culprit, and or he or she may immediately expelled from the hostel by the warden. And if he or she are warranted by the police, then they are rusticated from the hostel itself. The 10th point, any dispute among the inmates should be brought to the notice of warden. If any fight or anything happened between the inmates, the what those who watching these things should tell immediately to the warden. So no need to take the responsibility and help them settled. You should, if you see anything happens like fighting between other students, you should immediately report this to the warden itself. You no need to solve their problems. So this is the thing that they need to mention in these points. And if any students is guilty of violation of these rules, they are also expelled from the hostel. Otherwise they are not eligible to write the 4 semesters. And stringent action will be initiated against those who are participating or organizing of ragging junior students directly or indirectly in hostel or college campuses. So there is an anti-ragging squad available in our hostel. So you no need to worry about, if you are a junior like me, then you no need to worry about the ragging in your college. If anything happens, the the one who doing this must be pay off for his works. And those found guilty in this regard will be expelled or rusticated from the hostel or even rusticated from the college itself. This will do as per the GO enforced at that time. And the 12th point, if any student is found in consuming alcohol or any drugs inside the hostel premises, and he or she will be rusticated from the hostel itself. And during exam breaks, students are not permitted to stay in the hostel. So while after finishing the exams, you will given a long term break. So in that break, you don't need to stay in the hostel. You are not allowed to stay. You should go to your hometown or other places where your relatives settled. And the 14th point, students who move out the hostel during late hours should sign in the consent register without fail. If a student want to go outside the hostel in late hours like after 9 or 10 or 11, then he or she need to sign in the register. And the letter for reduction of mess fees has to be given 3 days in advance. If you want to reduce your mess fees, then you need to give a letter to the warden 3 days in advance. And the last point, the mess bill payments have to be credited in the bank or through the DD in favor of the dean hostel mess account Union Bank of India Tirunelveli. So in this address you need to send the DD, otherwise you need to credit the bill payments, mess bill payments to the bank account number which will be provided here. You can see the bank account number. If you are VCRI Tirunelveli student, then you need to deposit your, you need to credit your mess bill payments on this account number. Otherwise you can give a DD to the Tirunelveli dean address. So this is the account number and IFSC code. And all the students are instructed to remit their mess bill every month. So everyone should pay their mess bill every month without fail. Okay guys, this is the thing I need to convey you in this video. I think the video is very large, sorry for that guys, but I clearly explained about the hostel rules and regulations in this video. So that's the thing you need to take in your mind. If you guys want this PDF, do check in my Telegram channel. I pin this PDF in my channel, so do follow and check that PDF. I am also on Instagram, follow me there. Love animals, save animals. Let me meet you in the next video guys. Until then, bye, take care.